on this machine, really focusing on really control mostly. Don't want to use our knee too much. We want to use our hip to help guide us down, and actually even when we thrust out, we will make sure we're controlling the actual, the push portion of the movement, and we're not going to lock out. So we're trying to take the knee completely out, because if we lock out, the knees want to kick in for extension and stability. We really want to isolate just the hip and glute area on this one. We are going to get a little bit of a hamstring stretch too, but the main thing is still we want to drive through the hip. So here we're on the front squat machine doing banded work. This one we're not going to do a superset, straight into it. Really focus on beginning the movement with our hips. So like I tell a lot of people, ass first, just like you're about to sit on the toilet, same approach. Putting the butt back first, getting as much depth as we can. Even here we're pausing a little bit at the bottom, so we know we're firing with our glutes and hamstrings coming out the bottom. So hey, how we doing?
Woo! Good, you? Good. So, some people always ask, they ask about Trey's ethnicity. So if you can see from here, he's obviously has some type of Polynesian, Samoan descent. Some say maybe he has a little bit of a black girl in him.
Bruce, this one, we're going in this band still like we just did with the front squat, but now we're going to use it as a Romanian deadlift. Really good because, of course, we're not having to worry about controlling with our hands with a bar or dumbbell. So we're taking that out, but we still get the good resistance, constant tension with the bands. Really able to control more of the glute hamstrings. A lot of times with a Romanian style deadlift, depending if you're using a bar, depending on how far the bar is in front of you, a lot of times it does include a lot more paraspinal muscles and lower back muscles that are kicking in. For those of you who have weak lower backs and things like that, I suggest if you have access to this, great one to get really a lot of good glute hand work without completely involving the lower back. But at the same time with the bands, it's kind of like that rehab approach still, where you're still having the tension. It's not like we're allowing that point of like no resistance. We got resistance the whole way through. Watch Drew as he maneuvers this tight little nice round booty, molded into a McElrath masterpiece here.
It's perfect. I had the perfect white girl booty. My little legs hurt.
On this one, we're kind of finishing off a little bit more hamstring work. This we're actually doing a partial full reps. I'm real big into partial fulls, just because we can actually focus on just keeping everything kind of tight the whole way through, not allowing the the body to relax or overextend. Drew, he's been having some knee issues. So actually, this is actually better for him because we don't have to do as much weight, but it keeps pressure off, the front of the knee as well as behind the knee, so we don't get that crazy ACL, PCL, type of tension back and forth. So, this is actually good for a lot of people who are rehabbing, who just really want to get back into like really trying to build and stuff and try to get the body used to it. So I'm a big fan of like partial for us because you can really cut the weight down by half and still get some great work out of it.
Sometimes with your partner, you want to make sure they keep the tushy out. He doesn't have a problem with that. So.
Trey always put you through some good workouts.
Oh yeah, we have really good workouts. But as far as like chest and shoulders, those are the only two really major body parts that I can kind of hang with them on weight. So whenever we're doing like back or anything, quads or hamstring, glute, it's a challenge just for me to try to keep up with him. So it's definitely a good push, and so, obviously I feel like I'm got the die right now. So
he's not just training you, but he does it too.
Yeah, he trains, man. Trey's one of the few coaches. I mean, there's some out there, but he's one of the few coaches that will actually say, okay, look, do this, and then you sit there, watch him do it, so if he can do it, you can do it also.
All right, we just wrapped up ham and glutes. We're both pretty exhausted. We actually did 5 exercises today. The first 2 were just supersets, 4 sets each with the single leg curl and then also the single kickbacks. We then went to straight sets for 4 sets on the actual front squat machine banded. Took the same machine, we did Romanian style deadlifts for another 2 sets. We actually finished off with some leg curls. So we did line leg curls with a partial full repetition for 2 sets, and then ended up with a seated leg curl, focusing on more like control and stuff, time and retention. So we did like a 2-2-2 count. We went 2 on the eccentric motion, 2 on the pause portion where we're squeezing, and 2 on the eccentric motion. So we're pretty zapped. My tag team partner here from WWE, he keeps it lively for us. We keep it comical.
Hobo Jim.
Hobo Jim. So he's always kind of there to kind of push, but at the same time he keeps kind of lift the spirits while you're gasping for air for the next set. So we had a good workout. Like I said, Pro Fitness over here is a really good gym for lower body work, especially. Tons of equipment. We could have probably, if we really wanted to, could have been a field day. We probably could have spent hours doing different things. We just pretty much have our picks what we're going to do today for just hammy glute specific. Probably actually do some quad work here probably soon as well. We have a ton of stuff for actually quad work when it comes to a good hack squat machine and things like that, and have access to bands and chains and everything you name it. So really we can mix up a lot more here, especially with lower body work. Pretty much Drew right now, he's diving into his all-season prep. We're looking to do junior essays next year in Charleston. That's kind of his game plan right now, so he's trying to push everything to the max this year, try to grow a little bit. He's got his nice little tights on, keep him motivated. He's all about bringing the legs and wheels up, so he's pushing hard with me to keep it up. And like I said, we really, even for us, having different accesses and different equipment in different gyms is always good for change the routine. We actually go to 3 or 4 different gyms sometimes just to change the pace, get a little bit of a different atmosphere. Just something different. Sometimes it just kind of pushes you a little bit further, especially if you're in prep. Sometimes we get bored and super sensitive around what our normal, typical surroundings. So if we put ourselves in something else, then of course we might even enjoy it a little bit more for at least a short period of time.
And push a little harder.
Yeah, push a little bit harder. So as you see, we both are a sweaty mess today. Like I said, great workout. But we'll keep pushing him. He'll push me. Like I said, we're a tag team duo. I figure we're kind of like the duo from Lethal Weapon. Like he's the Mel Gibson version.
Yeah.
I'm the Pella version of Danny Glover too. So we kind of have a good little mix. I'm a little bit more serious. He's a little bit more comical. So he'll tell me stories of what he wants to do and things he's done in the past, and trying to invite me tonight to, I guess he's gonna make some homemade sushi and watch the Panthers game. So
yeah,
trying to get me to go over there and maybe get something dangerous. So like I said, good day, good time. Like I said, we'll actually continue in the next video. We'll probably do a little bit more depth on quad work and actually go over a little bit more on injury prevention, because a lot of people, when doing lower body training, even sometimes doing back training, of course the lower back sometimes is the big one that people have problems with. Hips especially as well, especially when we're doing things like squatting. So I do want to get more involved with actually the ways of rehabbing if we do have an injury, and ways to kind of modify workouts to at least help get re-strengthened.
Yeah.